This episode of One Hit Thunder is brought to you by DistroKid.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
If you thought goldenly breaded McDonald's chicken couldn't get more golden, think Golder, because new sweet and smoky special edition gold sauce is here. Made for your chicken favorites at participating McDonald's for a limited time.
This week, we're discussing the music and career of Berlin, a band whose biggest hit was, strangely, not really a Berlin song at all. Take My Breath Away soared into the stratosphere on the tailwinds of Top Gun in 1986, but it wasn't a great representation of the sexy, upbeat, new wave synth-pop that Berlin was known for. Join us as we journey deep into Berlin to see if they take our breath away, or if we'll just become another pleasure victim.
Watching in slow motion as you turn around and say, take my breath away. One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
So Matt, did you think there was a chance on Earth that this band wasn't European?
In a lot of the things that I discovered discussing Berlin, which thank you, Patreon, for voting on this one, patreon.com/OHT podcast. I thought for sure this was a European band.
Nope.
But apparently not. We fell right into their trap, Chris.
Yes, this is an Orange County band. Formed in 1976 as The Toys. They changed their name to Berlin to sound more European.
Yep.
Which, that's cool. No connection to Europe whatsoever. They just wanted to sound exotic.
I think my favorite thing that I've read in a long time of doing research was the sentence, despite its name, Berlin did not have any major connections to the sometimes capital of Germany.
Nope, none at all. That's fine. They were very much inspired by the works of Kraftwerk, Devo, and Sparks. Okay, yep. Some cool influences, I suppose. Their first single was called A Matter of Time, and it was released in 1979. So I feel like they were a little ahead of the curve as far as like the new wavy synthy sort of music. I watched a performance of this song from a show called Hollywood Heartbeat from December of 1980. And I will say that it was a very futuristic looking live performance and definitely had a very new wave feel to the song. I don't think I like the song that much, but this is early Berlin.
This is early Berlin. Let me stress something here because I think it's important to mention up front. What is your feelings on the song Take My Breath Away? That's the song that people know by Berlin. It's the song from Top Gun. I want to establish what our feelings are with that song before we go any further than this. What type of band did you think Berlin was just based on that song? Because I feel like I was constantly surprised by every new song I listened to by Berlin.
Well, there's a reason why that song is so different, which we'll get into.
We'll get there, but
I would have thought first of all, as a kid, of course, I knew this song.
Yeah.
I would have just assumed it was just a solo artist, which
Yeah.
it kind of
Sorta
was, and that
was.
it was just pop music, like a pop singer. I wouldn't have known that this was a band that came up through the ranks of like synth pop and new wave music. I wouldn't have guessed that.
When I got to some of these other moderate singles that they put out in the 80s, I was like, oh, this band's like you said, they are way more like punk new wavy than I would have guessed from listening to the song Take My Breath Away, which just feels like, generic radio fluff, kind of like.
Sure. I see that to a certain extent. But they're an actual legit band, and it's funny too because the bass player in the band, John Crawford, yeah, he is like the primary songwriter of the band, although Terry Nunn is kind of the face of the band, obviously, the woman who sings the
did
vocalist.
You see that when they had been offered to be signed in the 70s and Terry quit the band, and like when Terry left, so did most of the record label offers, kind of.
Yeah. Those dried up real quick because she's an attractive woman and she's got a cool stage vibe and also looks the part. She looks very new wave when you watch these videos. She has kind of a fascinating backstory because did you know she auditioned for the role of Princess Leia in Star Wars?
I did not. I missed that part. I did see that she supposedly was in Playboy
Penthouse
when she was not of age to be in Penthouse, but then she said that isn't true. But
I don't know what's true about that story. They said that she appeared under a pseudonym in 1977, but yes, she told them that she was an adult, but she wasn't. It was the 70s, I guess, but like you didn't do a little further investigating.
You didn't
maybe
at least look at a driver's license or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but yes, she did rejoin the band. And I will say that before she joined the band, and I don't know if this was in her early years or what, she was on a lot of TV shows in the 70s and 80s, a lot of shows that I may have heard of but never actually watched that included Family, TJ Hooker. Now, TJ Hooker I've heard of. Have you heard of TJ Hooker?
I've definitely heard of TJ Hooker. I think it's starring William Shatner.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think he's TJ Hooker.
Okay, well, she was also on some shows called Lou Grant, Vegas, and James at 15. She also appeared in the 1978 film Thank God It's Friday. So she had a little bit of a acting career, but the band definitely is what everyone knows her for. So she rejoined the band in 1981 and they signed to Enigma and they released the double A side, Tell Me Why, and the Metro. Now, we can easily talk about them on One Hit Thunder, but they did have other songs that were in the top 100.
The Metro is a noteworthy song. I actually know this song. We were just talking about them last week on on our Drowning Pool episode. System of a Down covered this song for the really? Not Another Teen Movie soundtrack.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. I didn't know that much. But as far as the song goes, it's like a upbeat synth pop song. And also, I was kind of surprised that like the YouTube of the music video had 6 million plays.
Yeah,
like
it's a good song.
People like this song. And maybe that System of a Down thing maybe made people go back to the original or something. I don't know how popular the System cover was. I can't imagine it.
So here was the breakdown. So there also Alkaline Trio covered the song on their album Remains. The Interrupters did a cover of it as a bonus track on their on their debut album. But it says System of a Down recorded 3 covers of the song. In 1995, it was part of their demo cassette that got them signed. It was then include it on, they recorded a different version for the maxi single version of their song Lonely Day. And then they recorded a separate version that appeared on both the Not Another Teen Movie soundtrack and the Dracula 2000 soundtrack. And it was included on a list of the 20 greatest heavy metal covers of all time. So this song, this System of a Down cover is probably more famous than the actual Berlin song at this point.
Well, how is a song that went to number 58 in like 1981 or 2 or whatever, how is this making enough of an impression on not only System of a Down, but also Alkaline Trio and the Interrupters that they would all cover it? Like,
all that I can think of is that maybe we are discovering, and we've definitely seen this before, right? That maybe Berlin, like we said, they're inspired by bands like Devo and Sparks. Maybe Berlin has more of this like cool guy band background than you and I ever realized, where like they're like a musician's band.
I have never met a person like, and I would love to meet a person. Maybe someone's going to write to us after this episode and be like, what are you talking about? I am. But I've never met a person who's like, I'm a big Berlin fan.
Yeah.
Like, I've never met someone who was, no shade here. I think that's cool. I just never knew anybody that listened to Berlin. I don't even know anyone who listened to the hit. Like, who's like, I'm a big fan of Take My Breath Away. Like, not really. Let's continue with the story here. So they recorded this EP called Pleasure Victim. They recorded it on a $2,900 budget, which is like nothing back then. Like it was expensive to record at this time. And that's a shoestring budget. But this EP had their first, what I read is significant hit, which is called Sex, parentheses, I'm a, in 1982, which was banned by some radio stations due to its graphic lyrics. This song only went to number 62, so I don't know why they're calling it their first significant hit, but maybe it's because this song got some K-Rock airplay, which led to them signing to Geffen and re-releasing Pleasure Victim, and then that EP hit worldwide by 1983. Now, this song, did you listen to Sex, I'm a?
Chris, I was familiar with the song Sex, I'm a because Weird Al Yankovic includes this in one of his polkas in the 80s.
What? Dude, this is so strange.
Now this is, I'm pretty sure, give me like 30 seconds to double check this, but I'm pretty sure that it's on his first ever polka that he released. And when we did that for Weird Algorithm, the thing that we noticed was that it was a lot more, it has a lot more like obscure pseudo hits from new wave bands that he liked in there. Like it still has like Smoke on the Water and Hey Jude and LA Woman is in there, but the opening song to that polka is Jocko Homo by Devo, which is like not a mainstream hit. You're either a Devo fan and knows that like Are We Not Men, We Are Devo song, or you would never be able to like pinpoint it. But this was one of the songs on there, and I was like, why this? Like, what is this? Like, it is arguably one of the lowest charting songs that Al has ever included in a polka.
Also, it's, Al who keeps it clean. This is a very sexual song. Like, it's, for the early 80s, I was like, whoa, it's like skin to skin, tongue to, ooh, honey, hold tight, come inside. It's a passion play just for you. Let's get lost in that magic place all alone now. You drink your fill from my fountain of love, wet your lips. Now, I know this sounds a little, maybe take what you want from it, but by the end of the song, they say, we make love, fuck, 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 all night long, suck it, fuck me. So it does get a lot more graphic. Maybe they cut off the ending when they played it on K-Rock. I would assume they did. But they did sign to Geffen. And then in 1984, they released the album Love Life. And the single, No More Words, became their first top 40 hit. The song went to number 23 in May of 1984. The next single, Now It's My Turn, only went to number 74 in July of 1984. And I want to stress once again, most of these songs, their bassist, John Crawford, either straight up wrote or co-wrote with some of the band
100%,
members.
which leads to the song that made them famous and also arguably killed the band almost immediately.
Okay. So now it's time to talk about Take My Breath Away. Giorgio, I guess you say Moroder? Moroder talked about this guy recently because on Krista Makes a Podcast, we had Lamal on the show, and we did Kajagoogoo Too Shy, but his solo hit was The Never Ending Story, and that song was also written by Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah.
Giorgio was known as the father of disco, and he also composed the film soundtracks for American Gigolo, Superman 3, Scarface, which I laughed when I heard Scarface because have you seen Scarface in recent years?
No, I have not. I didn't like it the first time I watched it, and I really never revisited it.
There's just like one really funny scene I remember from that, what is a very like brutal and serious drug movie. But there's one scene where like he's now taking all the drug money and investing it in like businesses and stuff. And there's this like the cheesiest song you've ever heard in your life being played during a montage of him like opening businesses and stuff.
And that was possibly, and Giorgio was probably the guy that did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But Giorgio also made songs for David Bowie, Falco, The Weeknd, Kylie Minogue, Irene Cara, Bonnie Tyler, Janet Jackson, Blondie, and way more. But he has said the song that he's most proud of is Take My Breath Away.
Well, so let's talk about what he did, right? So he was brought in, Jerry Bruckheimer's making this movie Top Gun, and he says, I want you to write a song for this movie soundtrack. And he writes Danger Zone for Kenny Loggins.
Right.
And Jerry Bruckheimer's like, this is fantastic. How about you also compose a slower song for our romantic scene? So this is where he writes the backing music and just records this demo. And I gotta say, the lyrics to Take My Breath Away are not what I remember. It is what Giorgio created. This like bassy, like bow, 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 bow. Like the musical track that Giorgio crafts is what makes this song a hit to me on that synthesizer.
Yeah, the lyricist is Tom Whitlock, who also wrote the lyrics to Danger Zone. So this was
Did you read how they became acquainted with each other? Because this made me laugh.
No.
Tom, who was a mechanic, fixed the brakes on Giorgio's Ferrari and then mentioned that he was a lyricist. So he was like, all right, well, write me some lyrics sometime. So he wrote the lyrics while driving home from the studio and spent a couple hours polishing them. And then the demo of the song, just sung by a background singer, impressed the director Tony Scott and the producers Jerry Bruckheimer and Don Simpson. And they decided that it would be in the romance scene of the movie. And they actually offered it to the Motels.
Yes.
The Motels did record a demo, which appeared years later in 2001 on a compilation album. But it was actually Columbia Records suggested, hey, how about you use one of our signed artists? And Giorgio thought of the band Berlin because he had produced the song No More Words.
Right.
But this is, by all accounts, this Berlin song, as far as we understand it, is Giorgio provided the music and Terry sang over it. That is it.
Yeah. That's it. And I guess to a certain extent, I mean, I kind of feel bad for the other people in Berlin. They're not even, as far as I can tell, they're not even on the song. And John Crawford, who was like the primary songwriter, has nothing to do with this song. But I guess at the same time, they're lucky that Terry didn't just like be like, oh, this song is Terry Nunn.
But she kind of does. So what happens is the next year the band breaks up, and one of the reasons was given was the personal disagreements about the song Take My Breath Away, because Terry was like, look, we have this song that's huge and we should be taking advantage of that. Well, I think the rest of the band was like, fuck that song. That isn't even a real Berlin song.
Right.
And that led to the band basically breaking up. And then Terry fought for the legal rights to use the name Berlin and has on and off been just playing with some higher guns. Now, I do think it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if you saw that, like, because we're not going to go through all of the different random tours that Terry has been a part of. But at one point, there was like a super group of the original Berlin members and her hired gun members. Like, instead of kicking people out, they're like, let's just be like a 7-piece band to create like a more full sound and do the thing. But like, Take My Breath Away literally killed the band.
Yeah, that's a shame, because if you get handed that winning lottery ticket, you maybe could have parlayed that, right? Keep it together and be like, okay, our name's attached to this thing, and it is our singer. Let's go make another album. I mean, I guess, I don't know the ins and outs of their band and what was going on. And that's a hard thing.
I also could see the frustration being that from the songs I listened to, this doesn't even sound close to what they were doing as a band.
Not at all.
So I'm sure that there's also that of like, this is not music we are interested in making.
Right. Also, I have no idea, and I would imagine I know the answer to this, if they got a single dollar from this song, because you got to figure that Giorgio and Tom are going to get paid, and Terry's going to get something for singing
so it's
it.
probably the bane of their existence for the other guys, that they're probably making almost nothing on this global hit.
Yeah, not on the song itself, but maybe the residual, like, hey, people are now buying their albums or maybe coming to their shows. So if you could have kept it together, maybe it's like a little weird thing that happened along the way. I don't know. I couldn't get any information on the ins and outs of that moment.
But it does seem like that kind of killed the band. In 1987, Terry kept doing stuff. I was asking you about this earlier. She recorded a cover of The Dope Show by Marilyn Manson for a 2001 artist tribute album called Anonymous Messiah. And this is like, it is weird. Like, it is an industrial sounding cover of The Dope Show with her undeniable vocals there. But at this point, the most noteworthy thing for the actual band Berlin that happened wouldn't be until 2004. Do you remember when VH1 had the show Bands Reunited?
We've talked about this show before. I didn't really watch it, but what happened?
I remember it existing. They were featured on an episode of that where they got kind of the like most famous era of Berlin to reunite and play one show at the Roxy to a sold out crowd. Okay. And that was kind of the vibe of Bands Reunited, right? They would just find a band that had fallen apart, get them in a room together to talk about the good times, kind of mend friendships, and see if they could get them to agree to play one show as a band together. But again, from here on out, Berlin has basically been Terry and other musicians doing different variations. There was one piece of controversy we owe it to ourselves to mention here, which Terry Noon on December 30th, 2020, performed at this infamous Donald Trump Mar-a-Lago New Year's Eve party with Vanilla Ice. Now, immediately after this, and I was talking about this with Barb, immediately after this, Terry expressed deep regret about participating in the event, stating not only did she not intend for this to be any type of endorsement or support for a political party, but she was unaware of how lax COVID laws were in the state of Florida and was astonished to find that masks and social distancing were not required at the event that she had been led to believe would be in place. So I was saying to Barb that part of me wonders, because I feel like Vanilla Ice said something similar about when he played the show, and, a grifter's going to grift.
Yeah.
I could imagine being booked to play a New Year's Eve party and then, like, the day of it being announced as Donald Trump's New Year's Eve party without you being fully aware. You have to expect. Yeah, you have to think he's probably going to be there.
Yeah. That's gross. It's almost like I was talking yesterday with our past guest Johnny about, I'm sure you know about this Riyadh Comedy Festival, the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Like, what amount of money do you throw away all your principles?
Yeah.
Like, what size bag do you need to be handed to be like, nah, fuck it. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm sure that those comedians are being paid ridiculous amounts of money, but it's blood money. It's literally like you're taking money from, a prince who beheaded a journalist. You know, like I mean, it's fucked up, and I don't have to respect these people.
No need for us to do it.
Hey there, One Hit Thunder listeners. Are you ready to take your music to the next level? Well, get ready to rock, because this episode is brought to you by DistroKid, the ultimate digital music distribution service for artists like you. With DistroKid, you can easily upload your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, reaching fans all around the globe. But that's just the beginning. DistroKid offers a ton of awesome features like Hyperfollow, which helps you promote your releases and get pre-saves on your songs, all for free. But wait, there's more. The DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. This powerful tool allows you to put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time. But that's not all. DistroKid has just launched a brand new feature called Instant Share, allowing you to easily share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more. With Instant Share, you can keep your music streaming at the highest quality while making the best impression possible. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities. Possibilities that I know all about because I've been using DistroKid for years. It's seriously great. If you haven't used it before, you're going to love it. And One Hit Thunder listeners get an exclusive offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid by signing up at distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder. That's distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder.
This episode is brought to you by White Claw Surge. Nice choice hitting up this podcast. No surprises. You're all about diving into tastes everyone in the room can enjoy. Just like White Claw Surge. It's for celebrating those moments when connections have been made and the night's just begun. With bold flavors and 8% alcohol by volume, unleash the night. Unleash White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. 8% alcohol by volume. White Claw Seltzer Works. Chicago, Illinois.
When Sweet Tarts dared to combine sweet and tart, they thought, why stop there? Why not create other exciting and unexpected combinations, like rainbows and ropes, or fruity and gummy, or chewy and more chewy? That's why they created fun and tasty treats, like Sweet Tarts Twisted Rainbow Ropes and Gummy Halos. When you dare to combine, it's sure to blow your mind. Sweet Tarts, dare to combine. Visit sweettartscandy.com to shop now.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Insurance may all seem the same on the surface, but having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting a speech from your third cousin's +1 at your wedding when you needed a speech from your best man. You wouldn't settle for just any speech, so don't settle for just any insurance. When it comes to getting the help you need, State Farm is the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At New Balance, we believe if you run, you're a runner. However you choose to do it. Because when you're not worried about doing things the right way, you're free to discover your way. And that's what running is all about. Run your way at newbalance.com/running.
Introducing Internet Supreme Court, the new live stream show where we judge everything in the current cultural zeitgeist.
We cover news, memes, Reddit drama, X-nonsense, and try to stare long enough into Mark Zuckerberg's eyes to see if he has a soul.
He doesn't. Check us out every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on InternetSupremeCourt.com, premiering in March 2025.
Check out InternetSupremeCourt.com for more or follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky.
I do want to very quickly run down what the top 5 was when this song peaked. Peaked at number 1, September 13th, 1986. Also in the top 5, Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling at number 2. Huey Lewis and the News, Stuck With You, which I literally heard today when I was grocery shopping.
Great song.
Carl Anderson and Glory Loring with Friends and Lovers. And a song that someone asked for the original version of in our Facebook group recently, but number 5, Bananarama Venus. A banger of a song. And then I had 3 noteworthy debuts
I saw
to
them.
mention.
Yeah.
I'm curious if we got the same 3.
Oh, yeah.
Human League Human at 71. At 81, Cameo Word Up. And at 94, a song that a friend of mine just messaged me and said, can I come on the show and talk about The Rain by Orange Juice Jones? And I said, I think that's going to happen very soon.
That's a good one.
So that is there's some top tier debuts is September 13th, 1986.
Yeah, I also have to mention, if you went a little further down on there, Higher Love from Steve Winwood was at 6.
I did see
Another
that.
song from a movie soundtrack. I love this movie. I think people make fun, or I love this song. I think people make fun of this song a lot from him, but I love it. Sweet Freedom from Michael McDonald. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good song. Words Get in the Way from Miami Sound Machine was at 8. Walk This Way, Run DMC was at 9. This is the era of Papa Don't Preach from Madonna, if you need to put yourself in that space. As far as another episode we did on here, Two Hearts from Stacey Q was at 17. And I also just watched the Billy Joel doc, which is really good on HBO. A Matter of Trust from Billy Joel. At this moment was number 33.
Good song. Underrated Billy Joel song.
That's the song that goes, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah. It's a good song.
Yeah. Oh, also another episode we did of One Hit Thunder, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off from Jermaine Stewart was at number 34.
Damn. 1986 radio was pretty good.
It is really good.
You know, next year we're going to have to do a draft of 1986, and I think that we're going to have it sounds like we're going to have some albums to pick from.
Yeah. I think it's also worth noting, Matt, that this Take My Breath Away won the Academy Award for Best Original Song, and also the Golden Globe for Best Original Song for being in Top Gun. I mean, obviously this was on the Top Gun soundtrack, but also the song was on the Berlin's 4th album, Count 3 and Pray, which was released in October of 1986 on Geffen. It had 3 singles on the album. So despite the fact that it was just Terry singing over a track and singing lyrics by somebody else, they did get to put it on their album and drive people towards their album that had other singles on it. So,
and I wonder if that was their decision or the record label's decision. I feel like it was probably a combination of both. If Columbia's putting out the Top Gun soundtrack and they're like, hey, here's one of our bands that hasn't really been getting a lot of attention, they're probably thinking they can strike 2 sales with one with that combo. But either way,
I got to tell you, if there was a composer and a lyricist that wanted Steve from my band
It
to
would
sing
be on
a
the
song.
next Punchline album like that if it was big. Yeah.
Especially if the song went to number one and it was like, and I thought it was going to drive people towards our original songs, I would be like, yeah, that is Steve singing that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would be a crisis. I say that flippantly, but...
Let me ask this. It is literally the song Take My Breath Away. The song has not been written before, and now in 2026, they want Steve Sabosley to sing this song. I feel like if it had said... just speaking my feelings with you, Chris, I think that you would be happier if it said Steve Sabosley of Punchline than if the song was released as Punchline, because if someone loves Take My Breath Away and they're like, I love this Punchline band, I'm definitely going to check out their other music, they might be wildly disappointed by their expectations of what the band is. I think that was the issue that Berlin had, was like, this isn't the type of music we make.
Well, okay. All right. I get your point. I was going to say at least let us contribute and like play on the track, even if we don't write on the, something, so it's not like just calling it Punchline. I mean, this is this is such a weird conversation to have, because it wouldn't happen to us with this particular song. Like, this song is meant for a female vocal.
But you know what I mean? Like the sentiment that I mean is like, it's such a dramatic shift from everything your band is. And this might be what everybody assumes. This is what I assumed Berlin's the rest of their catalog sounded like until today.
Now you're making me want us to do a cover of Take My Breath Away just to prove you wrong.
Hey, I go for it. I'm down for it. But Chris, are we about to decide Thunder or Blunder? Do you got a game for me?
I got a game. What do you think? I would come to a podcast without a game? I feel like this is part of our show at this point.
I know. I love it. 7 questions.
7 questions.
2 points. I'll say 10. I think I can get 10 points.
10 points. I like your confidence. If you get 10 points, that will really take my breath away, Matt.
I'm riding high on the Drowning Pool episodes.
Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. If you get it right, I'll give you 2 points, because you need the multiple choice no matter what. Which one of these artists are not on the Top Gun soundtrack?
Okay.
A, Cheap Trick. B, Miami Sound Machine. C, Bon Jovi. Or D, Loverboy.
I'm going to just make a random guess and say not Bon Jovi.
You got it.
Woo!
Nice. 2 points for that. That was a tough one.
I'm proud of that. That was...
Now it's the 2-in-1 situation.
Okay.
Which band was originally intended to perform the track Danger Zone, but legal conflicts between the film's producers and the band's lawyers prevented it?
I didn't know that anybody was going to do Danger Zone that wasn't Kenny Loggins. All right, multiple choice.
A, Aerosmith. B, Toto. C, Survivor. Or D, Genesis.
All right, I'm going to narrow it down to the 2 that make the most sense to me, which is Aerosmith and Survivor. I'm going to say Aerosmith.
That is incorrect, Matt. It was actually Toto.
Toto?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, Toto kind of rocks sometimes.
They do kind of rock sometimes, but I not on the, like, listen, you know me. I say Hold the Line is better than
Hold the
Africa.
Line.
But I still don't think that song is Danger Zone level of rocks.
Danger Zone rocks so hard, I forgot. Okay. Here we go, Matt. You're going to learn a lot. After Toto couldn't perform Danger Zone, what artist was approached to perform it but refused any involvement in the film, feeling that it glorified war and, as such, not wanting any of his work linked to it? He also refused to allow his song Only the Strong Survive to be featured in the film.
Only the Strong Survive. Fuck. I'm not going to get 10 points. I can already tell. Multiple choice.
A, Peter Cetera. B, Phil Collins. C, Billy Joel. Or D, Bryan Adams.
Ooh, those are all good options. I'm going to say Billy Joel.
That is incorrect. It was Bryan Adams.
That was not one of my
do.
choices. My backup was Phil Collins. So, all right. I don't feel too bad.
Bryan Adams didn't want to glorify war. I got to respect
love that
him for
about
that.
him.
Yeah.
That's very Canadian of him.
It is. But I also feel like I can't point to anything specific, but I feel like there was like some opinions or something that Bryan Adams held that I was like, ugh, yuck. But I could be wrong about that.
Yeah,
I feel like at some point I read something about him. But this is cool.
Yeah,
like he's
I think
right.
you might be wrong. I think Bryan Adams was also the dude who like refused to go to any Canadian music award shows because he didn't like that Canada insisted on highlighting only Canadian artists or something. Like it was like a weird thing where he's like he has like a lot of he stands up for a lot of stuff, and 9 times out of 10 I'm like, yeah, you're right, Bryan Adams. But
okay.
Yeah, you might be. I mean, I don't know. I don't keep tabs on Bryan Adams.
I don't know. I don't want to falsely put that out there. But I was just listening to a podcast like today or yesterday where they were talking about how the Air Force needed to do no recruiting for years because that movie was such a recruiting tool for the Air Force.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you still got 2 points.
All right.
We're gonna do some stuff that relates to the month where Take My Breath Away hit number 1 now.
Okay.
On September 12th of 1986, which iconic David Lynch movie debuted in Toronto?
What was the year again?
It was September 12th of 1986.
September 12th, 1986. I'm going to guess Blue Velvet. I think that was 87.
You got it.
Yep.
Yep. Up to 4 points, Matt. Good job.
All right.
On September 19th of 1986, what 3D Michael Jackson short film premiered at Disney theme parks?
Captain EO, baby.
Wow, you got it. Look, just like that, Matt, you have a chance now.
All right.
Okay. Let's see if we can get this one. On September 5th of 1986, the third VMAs were aired live from multiple locations. The Palladium in New York and the Universal Amphitheater in LA. And then other parts took place in London, Miami, and New Haven. It was all over the place. Which artist won Best New Artist, Best Concept Video, Most Experimental Video, Best Direction in a Video, Best Special Effects in a Video, Best Editing in a Video, Best Cinematography in a Video, and the Viewer's Choice, but lost to Dire Straits' Money for Nothing for Video of the Year?
Fuck, I was so confident Dire Straits was the answer.
No, it won all the other awards, but lost to Money for Nothing. Which band or artist?
Band or artist, 1986.
Yep.
Not Dire Straits.
Nope, that's who won Video of the Year.
Yeah.
But this one won all those other awards.
I felt so confident it was Money for Nothing. God damn it. Shit, I'm going to have to go multiple choice.
Your choices are A, Aha, B, Peter Gabriel, C, Talking Heads, or D, Robert Palmer.
Okay, there's an argument for Aha and Peter Gabriel, but I'm going to lean on it being you and say it was B, Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer is the video that got denied everything. It was Take On Me by Aha.
It was Take On Me.
Yeah, fuck.
It was. And you know what else is crazy? That a couple of those awards that Aha won were for that other song.
Oh, the sun doesn't rise on TV or whatever. It doesn't always shine on TV.
Yeah, like 2 of them were for that.
That's crazy.
And then all the rest were for Take On Me.
Fuck.
It's
all
wild.
right. Well, I'm not hitting 10, but maybe I can still hit 8.
Okay. The 38th Primetime Emmy Awards were held on September 21st, 1986 in Pasadena. What show won Outstanding Comedy Series that year?
Well, I can't hit 10 anyway, so multiple choice.
A, Cheers, B, Family Ties, C, The Cosby Show, or D, The Golden Girls?
Man, all of those make sense to win it. I think 86 is right when everybody is obsessed with Cheers. So I'm going to say Cheers.
Sorry, it was the Golden Girls.
Of course it was. You can't resist a Golden Girls question. I don't even know why I doubt it.
I looked up, too. Michael J. Fox won Outstanding Lead Actor for playing Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties. And Betty White won an Outstanding Lead Actress for playing Rose Nyland, which I was like, damn, go ahead, Betty White. I mean, you could have made an argument for any of those women to win that award, but everybody loved Rose.
How could you not?
Yeah, that's true. All right, Berlin, Matt. How are we feeling about Berlin?
I'm actually going to go with Thunder. I thought that I was going to be miserable and that this was going to be like very slow, moody, synthy songs because, like I said, the only song I really, truly knew was Take My Breath Away. So when I dove into like songs like The Metro and Sex Ima, I was like, oh, this band's kind of cool. So I mean, they're, again, similar to what I said last week, I'm not running out and buying like all of Berlin's records or anything like that. But I think that if you're listening to this show and you only know the song Take My Breath Away, but you are like a fan of 80s new wave, you probably owe it to yourself to actually check out their other songs because I think you're going to like that a lot more than their hit. So Thunder for me.
I would say that Take My Breath Away, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I think Take My Breath Away is far and away the best song I heard from what we're calling Berlin, even though that's not really Berlin. That's more Terry Nunn and a couple other guys. But I do think some of those songs are okay. And I don't think it's a total waste of your time to check into Berlin and see that they were actual real deal band. They weren't, I mean, they came up in the 70s. They seemed to be innovators. They seemed to be on the forefront of the new wave and synth pop rising. You know, they didn't just jump on the bandwagon of it. So yes, I would also give it a Thunder. I think we can certify Berlin as Thunder.
All right. Works for me. This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Mathias of the band Punchline and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing Find Yourself off the newest Punchline album, Somewhere to Land. Go to punchlinemusic.com to get yourself a copy and to learn more about their upcoming shows. Our podcast is on Patreon, so find us at patreon.com/OHT podcast for early access to our episodes, bonus conversations, and a chance to vote on future songs for us to cover. Buy some merch from our store at onehithunder.dashery.com and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app. Tune in next week for more One Hit Thunder.
When did everybody get so good at everything? I'm just over here trying to keep my house clean. I have an eye flow, man, it's up and it's down. I'm wondering if this is why people leave town.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.